Hello everyone, how's it going? It's your boy Skilled Fawn, and today we're going to be looking at the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree trailer. We're going to be talking about it, analyzing it, and so yeah, let's jump straight on into this. Yeah, the first thing that I thought when I was fighting Moog was this area behind his arena over here, or even, uh, whether it's Mikola or someone else that's in this egg. I figured this would be a good DLC point uh, for you to like jump in. It seems like that's what they're going with. Uh, Either this area or I figured like near Godric's, like after you fight him, it's one of those like safe haven type zones. So yeah, this will be really cool to like hop in the DLC this way, like after you fight Moog. Um, Especially like in my challenge runs and stuff like that. May make the way I go about the main game slightly differently. Like I may leave Moog for last instead of usually I fight him like mid game or like at least before Millennia. Um, so yeah, it definitely looks like this is gonna be the way that we're gonna get into the DLC. So let's keep on going. And yeah, this shot right here just looks so beautiful. I'm trying to figure out exactly where this is. I'm guessing it's probably like a new area we haven't been to, but it definitely looks like this is like a divine tower, one of the bridges. Maybe there's or if this isn't the capital, though it kind of looks like the capital, like the Erdtree's over there. Um, but if it isn't, this kind of does look like a tower. So maybe we'll get another great rune over there, and we can see like all these types of flowers and the graves from when the initial picture dropped of the DLC. Let's keep going. And so, yeah, let's look at this. This is a really beautiful screenshot. So yeah, we have the Erdtree, like the different version of it, which looks really, really cool. But it seems like we got a few different zones to progress to. So maybe once we're in the capital, we can go off to the left into this like green foresty area. And it looks like off to the right is, I mean, it's still like a forest area, but looks like a whole different area. Um, so maybe there's gonna be like a boss in this area. It looks like a platforming area. Like you gotta jump from there to there. But I mean, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, the DLC does look extremely beautiful, and right here, kind of cool. Not sure what this is supposed to be, but just looking at this, what this reminds me of is in Demon Souls remake, all those things that are actually in the old one. It looks very similar to that. At least the design. I'm sure it's probably something completely different, but I figured I'd point that out. I don't know what this is supposed to be, but it kind of looks like when the omens they have their horns ripped off. It looks like what's left behind. Maybe this is like a in like reference to that or something. I don't know. And yeah, let's take a look at this amazing arena and what like this boss fight actually may be about. We get some really cool like purple lights hanging. Um, Definitely has like this darker atmosphere, but a similar atmosphere to Raya Lucaria. And it looks like this boss is a king or a queen, and we're gonna have to fight them, or they could be like a pretender that took the throne. Well, let's keep going on, see if we can figure it out. And yeah, definitely not an exact like king crown or whatever, but it's kind of hard to tell. Looks like it would be a man, but That is really cool, the way it kind of like peacocks up. That is really interesting. And this is a really cool shot right there. This reminds me of like Dagobah from Star Wars. Just like all the like dark forest, foggy, like a bunch of vines hanging down. That looks really cool. We got two people in this painting. This painting is very similar design to like the ones in Mount Gelmir and some other locations. We will have to figure out who these two people are. I'm guessing. I mean, this person could be. And no, probably not. We'll have to figure it out. Uh, this may be someone. This may be like America or like someone else, but they're like trying to hide their identity. I'm not sure exactly yet. Since, we don't have a ton of information. It's just speculation for the most part. And wow, this is a really cool screenshot. So we got all these pots that are hanging from the ceiling, and these are the warrior the warrior jars. And they take these like pots and they fill them with the remains of people, and then they become alive, invigorated by the warrior's spirit. So maybe we will be fighting a massive jar boss, or at least the people that make the jars will be fighting them. Or it could just be like a really cool area that they decided to add. So it looks like this area right here is... I'm not sure if this is the... because it seems like the Erdtree's over here, right? So it seems like this is going to be the area that you take that bridge that I was mentioning earlier, and you're going to take it all the way over here, because it looks like similar scenery to what we saw next to the tree. And maybe you can take this route too. But it seems like this is going to be a very cool castle. Maybe even like a secret boss up here. Similar to like Nameless King, where you're like riding the wind. Who knows? But it definitely... it looks really interesting, especially the columns, like the way that they spiral up. Very neat. But yeah, this definitely does look like where the Erdtree / the capital is. Then you like walk over here or over this way, and enter the castle. And right here, it looks like we have this insane monster type thing, or at least like machine. Don't know exactly, but it looks like it's like it almost looks like a massive bin, and there's all these like rocks and like flaming stuff inside it, and like all throughout its arms. And it just doesn't look like it's truly alive, I guess the way I'd put it. Maybe it is. It's just like it's got like this stone face type thing. Seems like it's mostly like an automation, similar to the crystal giants with their bows and swords in a main game. But it's kind of cool because it seems like there's all these like hands, like all the tarnished and just people that it's collected. So maybe it's not rocks and stuff like that inside it. Maybe it's just literally all people. That's what's giving it life. I mean, obviously not too sure yet. That wouldn't really explain how he's like on fire though all the time. But yeah, I mean, really cool though. We were able to see the Erdtree once again. See, it's rays casting down. Then over here, just looks like probably some other area we haven't seen yet. Maybe that dark forcey area to the right of the capital I mentioned earlier. Because it seems like to the right and then the left is going to be two different paths. The right is going to be like this dark area, and then the left was that like super green, looks like full of life area. So we'll have to see. And these guys are very similar to the worm faces. They're definitely a lot more snake-like. They have a lot like longer and more slender bodies. And I don't know, it definitely reminds me of DS3's Consumed King, the AI, or well, the model for it. We'll just have to see if they infect us with Deathblight. Though it doesn't look like there's going to be a status effect at all. And this boss right here looks very, very cool. So it seems like it's got this, see, from like right here. You can see it has like almost two mouths, or at least two sets of teeth. It's got like this front one and then this outer one. And it's almost like this weird version of Malekith and like one of the Omen twins. It's got all these Omen things coming off. And its feet and stuff like that, it looks way too small for its head. So maybe this is like, I don't know, some like whole new creature we haven't seen. It also looks very long too. But you'll see a little bit later in this trailer, this guy actually uses lightning, and though it's not red lightning, because usually lightning in these games, it means like divine, or like someone, that's like a higher power, I guess. And it's quite interesting that this guy's using lightning when like the dragons that came from Fair Missoula to the mainland, they came and used lightning. Maybe it's not like a holy thing like that. Maybe it's just like some ability, but that wouldn't really make sense. And it also wouldn't really be satisfactory, so we'll just have to wait. But I figured it was worth noting. And I guess right here we can get a slightly better picture of him. And it is quite, here, let's see if we can make it a lot better looking. So kind of hard to tell, but it looks like this dude has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At least like 8 legs. And it also kind of looks like it's like a horse connected with like Sarash almost, or line. So maybe this is like some grafted creature we haven't seen yet. And also like the way its hair goes is kind of like Godfrey's. And this arena looks really cool. This looks like some like really cool like temple. Maybe this is, and also the way that the columns are in this area, it seems like this is that castle that'll be to the left of the Erdtree, where you go through that super green area and like into the castle. This looks like where it'll be. But yeah, look at this architecture. This looks really fun. You can see it's got some type of, oh, this is the lightning part, but it's got some type of rock type attack, which, I mean, when I think of that, I think of Malekith, or Beast Clergyman, and how he can summon a bunch of that. But it's really interesting because he's got lightning too, and it's not the red lightning, so it doesn't come from the dragons. But this guy, or this creature, I guess I should say, is like some, I guess, like higher entity in this world. Just because he's able to conjure and use the lightning, and like that lightning's pretty much made just for like divine figures. Like you think in like Sekiro, you got the final boss for the most part. And like obviously Genichiro and some other guys. But like, wow, that is really crazy. Let's keep going. And this, oh my gosh, look at this dude. So this is one thing I did look up a little bit was this guy who is Mesmer, and uh, really interesting. He's got a snake with him, or a couple, maybe. Maybe it's the same one. But it looks like he's got like fire as his main ability. And the one thing I did see online quite a bit was how in Elden Ring there's these three butterflies, and I'll put them on the screen now. But you got like the Aeonian butterfly, which is supposed to represent Millennia, and then you got the nascent butterfly, which represents Mikola, and then the smoldering one seems like it's going to represent this character, which is Mesmer. And one thing that was quite interesting, and that I think of a lot about in the main game lore, is how serpents are usually depicted as like evil. Um, Especially, with Rykard, he was Lord of Blasphemy. He went against the Erdtree and gave himself to the serpent. So I think it's almost like some symbolism here. So maybe we'll see, well, depending on if this is in the past or in the future. I'm guessing it's going to be in the past, but maybe we'll see Rykard before he gave himself to the serpent. Maybe we'll see or not Goldfree, oh my gosh, we'll see Godwyn. Hopefully there will be some more explanation for all this stuff, but it's quite interesting. He's got wings very similar to Millennia, so I wonder if Mikola potentially has the ability for wings. And he's got this really cool sword. It almost looks like some like Deathblight type of sword, or a spear I should say. But yeah, we don't really know too much, so let's keep going. And kind of interesting is his eyes. Now, usually the player's character and like other just random enemies in the game, you'll see their eyes and they actually have a speck of yellow. And what that could mean is the grace of the Erdtree is like strong with that person, depending on like how much of the eye has taken root. But it also could be because of madness, maybe. When you do take the frenzied flame, your eyes potentially could be yellow, so maybe that's something. But probably not the madness one. I would say it's probably just that he's full of the grace from the Erdtree. You can see this really cool area, so it seems like there's going to be another catacomb type boss, or one of those cave bosses. And kind of interesting, but there's like all this yellow type stuff, and that kind of reminds me of the Frenzied Flame ending, how there's like all these burn and scorch marks on the side. And we got these whole new enemies. Candlesticks reminds me of oh gosh, those guys from DS3, the ones that absolutely take your health away in the area before the Profane Capital. Yeah, so this is, I guess, one reason why I think that there will be a secret area past that castle with that lightning grafted guy, maybe in the skies somewhere, or maybe this is like cloaked down underground. But this whole area looks very dilapidated. Looks like it's been in ruin. In like comparison to some of the other areas, are like very vibrant, even though they may be not many people there. It seems like the architecture and stuff like that is still like stable. So it seems like some time has passed here, potentially, or like a war or something. And it looks like we're gonna have a ton of new incantations and stuff like that. And also, kind of interesting, right here we get this statue, and it's like this lion omen creature. So that could very well relate to that boss that we just saw. Maybe they took the head and then like added like two other creatures behind it. And yeah, right here, that looks really cool. It's this like high monk type thing from Sekiro right onto an enemy. That'll be really cool to see. Look at how beautiful this area is, and also, wow, that's a cool looking NPC. It's all blue, and yeah, it definitely seems like this DLC is gonna be pretty massive, low key. When I think I saw Miyazaki say that it was gonna be slightly bigger than Limgrave, which will be really awesome. I guess I think about it. I'm trying to compare it to like Dark Souls 3's DLC, and I would say it's probably bigger than both of them combined. The Dark Souls 3 DLCs, but probably not much bigger. They definitely have been a lot more ambitious with Elden Ring than some of the other games. So I feel like they've been probably pretty ambitious with how big they've wanted it, and like all the boss fights, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, we're a few months away. It was quite awesome to get this trailer. We got something like hippo rhino creature thing. And this is really interesting. So this guy kind of at least has a very similar weapon to Orphan of Kos, and is on a horse that looks like it's in like Medir's lair. So I mean, this looks really interesting. Yeah, this is something I'm not completely sure on, but it looks like this dude got stabbed all the way down, potentially, or maybe that's just his like what's left of his spine and like ribs. Though probably not, because it seems like it's jagging out here, so it's probably the same type of thing. But somehow this guy is still alive, and he's trying to remove that from himself. I did see somewhere that people were thinking this is Shabari, or the guy that becomes him. Uh, which, I mean, it potentially could be, but I think it's just probably someone new entirely, and they're gonna write some more lore around him and about him. But, I mean, taking from this picture, it seems like he is some type of, like, nobility, or has some noble status, especially with this, like, golden medallion thing, and I don't know, just the way that his clothes look. He could either be like a monk type thing, or, you know, someone high status. But quite interesting though that he did, I guess, die this way. Maybe there was like some disease or something, and someone had to, you know, take him out. But also, like, why stab him straight through the head? Like, it's just all very interesting to speculate on, and that's all we can really do at this point. And yeah, Mesmer looks super cool. Or I guess so, he doesn't have the wings, it's the snake that has the wings. Interesting, okay. And you can see very similar attack looking. We'll go back a little bit, but it seems like it looks very similar to Melania's flower attack. The way it just goes down and then ripples everything around it. Maybe he's got that. And very cool, it's like his spear that he used, like a bunch of them pop out. Very cool. He's I don't know, the way that he looks like very skinny for how tall he is. Especially like his legs, you'd think they would be like a little fatter the closer they are to his body, but they're just still so skinny. And yeah, that is the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, and there's a little sneak peek at the end, so we'll keep watching. But yeah, it looks like this is Miquella, or I'm guessing Miquella, because they've been talking about her or him a bunch. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna see him. I doubt this is Marika, but potentially. But yeah, mostly gonna be Miquella, and seems like she's gonna be a massive part in this DLC. And I guess also right here, quite interesting to note is you saw the Erdtree before, how it was kind of like different than the main game. So maybe she's building it up? 'Cause it seems like it's like growing or something. I don't know. But yeah, we will have to see. And yeah, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree will be coming out June 21st. So yeah, make sure you're looking out for that. Um, but we are also able to get a decent view of what this area is potentially from this picture. So I mentioned that there was this bridge over here, and you're gonna have to go and probably platform to like some of these areas. But it looks like there's gonna be some type of castle over here, or maybe like behind that. And there's like some other type of, I don't know if this is like another part of a castle or just some structure, but looks like there's gonna be a fire area over here. And then over here we have this divine tower kind of looking thing. It probably isn't it because it does look slightly different, but there's that. And it seems like we're gonna have some church to visit, potentially get something other than sacred tears for our flasks. And there's gonna be this massive area behind Mesmer. And it's gonna be quite interesting to see like all the different weapons that this DLC is bringing, all the all the ashes of war associated with those weapons, um, like all the mixed flask pieces, all the armor, um, and just like how it's gonna make the main game even better with its lore. Um, So yeah, I greatly appreciate you guys coming and watching. I'm extremely excited to be playing this very soon, and I hope you guys are. Definitely like and subscribe if you would like to support me in the channel, and if you would like to stay up to date with Elden Ring stuff and like Soulsborne stuff. So yeah, thank you guys again. Have a fantastic day, and Skilled Fawn out.